Here we are, ready for the playoffs. Let's go and check out Cincinnati, who we have pulled for our side of the bracket. We are going to be at home for the wild card. If we win, we take on Philadelphia, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Chicago on the other side of things. But let's check out Cincinnati and what they have to offer for us lineup-wise. Against right-handed hitters, it's TJ Friedl, Will Benson, Max Clark, Christian Encarnacion, Sherwood Winchester, our boy, our good friend, Cam Collier, Salvador Calero, Edwin Arroyo, and Brian Rocchio. They're going with 5 bench players, including Tommy Edman, Sal Stewart, Reese Hines, Matthew Nelson, and Carlos Jorge. Who do we have to watch out for? Well, Friedl at the leadoff spot, 695 OPS, 13 home runs, 44 doubles. Isn't really 21 stolen bases, 11 caught. Not too worried. Will Benson, great against righties, will not hit against lefties at all. And especially if against righties, if you can go in there and bring in a lefty eventually, you can get these guys to not be as effective. Max Clark, however, their best player by far, one of the best players, if not maybe even the best player. No, not the best player. Jackson Holiday exists. But this year, another high 20s home run season, 40 doubles for him, which is a career high, 96 RBI, 899 OPS, which is by far the best season he's had on that range, just because his average was almost 300, which he did not do before. 7.5 WAR season, just absolutely spectacular. One of the best young guys in the league, and only 25 years old, hitting free agency soon as well. Interesting. He's going to be a guy that we're going to have to pitch around to. Hits for power against righties and just really demolishes righties. And then against lefties, he'll hit for contact high. He did really, really good hitting, but he won't hit for power against lefties. He kind of goes to a contact slap approach, uses that speed to get on. Encarnacion Strand, he won a Silver Slugger and a Gold Glove this season. A real breakout year for him. The last 2 years, he had about 20 home runs at 162 games. This year, bumped up to 40 home runs. Did drop in the doubles. But everything went up. Average way up, on base way up, slugging way up, OPS way up. Just really the best season by far in his career. And he had a bunch of negative impact seasons. This year he had a 5 WAR year. Easily the best year he's ever had. Sherwood Winchester. And you know the deal with him, a guy we almost went out and drafted. 12 home runs, 32 doubles. A decent year for him. Still hitting near 300, almost won a batting title in 2028. 759 OPS, not quite the same numbers. We didn't almost win a batting title. He only played 22 games. Like last year, he was in contention. My apologies. The average came down. The on-base stayed. The slugging was down a bit. So the OPS was down, but overall, still a really good player. 4 WAR guy, 18.3 career WAR already. Cam Collier, he's okay. Salvador Calero, a guy that they just called up, played the last 26 games for them. A guy, and they're going to roll with him. He has really good contact skills, and I like a guy like that in this part of the lineup. Usually a third baseman, but he is not a great fielder. But I love those contact skills at this part of the lineup. I think he's going to do really, really well for them, and that's a really good spot to have him. Edwin Arroyo, more in there for the fielding, and same for Brian Rocchio. But 2 switch hitters at the end. They have 3 switch hitters all in their lineup. A pretty balanced lineup altogether. Against lefties, here's how it changes. They move Calero all the way up. Rocchio comes off, and Tommy Edman plays against lefties. And Reese Hines also comes in. Will Benson goes on the bench. Reese Hines is their guy to hit lefties. If we look at their pitching rotation, who will they be going? We get the first 3 games of them. It's Grayson Rodriguez, Rhett Lauder, Hunter Green. This is a deadly rotation and a pretty deadly just pitching squad altogether. Grayson Rodriguez, who we'll see in Game 1, tosses around 100. I think we played him earlier this year. 4 ERA, the worst ERA of his career after his first cup of coffee in the major leagues. But still a phenomenal pitcher. Almost 200 strikeouts. He accumulated 2 WAR this year and the first year on a big contract. Rhett Lauder, a guy that they finally developed and finally has let go into the rotation. 4.58 ERA, not the best. Where's the FIP at? 420, 2 WAR season. We can probably get to him. And Hunter Green, the guy that they drafted number 2 overall, I believe, a few years, now almost 10 years ago now. 2 WAR, a FIP at about 389. So a lot of velocity we're going to see. We're seeing a lot of velocity to begin these 3 games. A lot of strikeouts coming from these guys. It's going to be interesting. Kevin Wells, Chase Petty, Daniel Espino, guys who got a lot of run but just haven't really done a whole bunch. Wells is a guy that we actually were looking to draft a few years ago. Daniel Espino, a former top prospect that has flamed out, and Chase Petty, a decent season here in his second full year on the big league squad. Just okay. Brandon Williamson, another guy that started some games for them in their past, but now as they've evolved, they pushed him as a lefty in the bullpen. But Andrew Moore, shutdown closer who blew just 2 saves all season, has had 40 plus the last 3 years. He is awesome. John McMillan, a righty, he has been great for them this year. And Dylan Coleman has been probably their most solid reliever out of the pen all year. And there we go. Let's go play this. Let's go play the series against Cincinnati. Hopefully move on to the next round. For the 3rd straight year, playoff baseball here in Colorado, I believe it's the first time in team history that we are 3 years in a row that we are in the playoffs. And this is a team I think is, I would venture to say, better than definitely last year's team, but better than our winner when we won in 2028. And we have the Cincinnati Reds on the docket to begin. The Reds have been intertwined with us throughout the entire time I've been here, and that is because of that draft pick in the first ever draft, Bobby White for Sherwood Winchester. We've highlighted it multiple times over the last few years once both of those players were called up, and here we are in the playoffs with it. Cannot get any bigger on any grander of a stage, and Bobby White is going to be our starting pitcher for Game 1. He pitched us to a World Series. He and everyone else on that staff was phenomenal in 2028. Last year didn't have the juice offensively to get it done, but this year I think we have both the great pitching and the good offense. And here's Bobby White in the regular season, a 4.19 ERA. We talked about these pitchers, not the best surface level numbers, but a lot of good things to like under the hood. Will Benson, yeah, there's a hood strikeout, second out of the first inning. Bobby White again was phenomenal, absolutely dominant in all of his playoff performances so far. Max Clark, grounder to the Tovar, spin, and the out. So, yeah, we are definitely trusting in Bobby White to go out here and twirl us a gem. Just hope the offense comes to play like it didn't last year, but like it did 2 years ago. Grayson Rodriguez, the flamethrower, 13-10 his first season in Cincinnati after coming from Baltimore. 4 ERA, not exactly the stats you think about when you hand out a contract that he got, but that's serviceable. That's fine. Hopefully for the Reds, they can turn it on here. And he's turned it on so far. A lazy fly out from Nolan Jones that actually ended up being a little bit less lazy than I thought initially. Either way, caught before the track, and that will do it for the first inning. So a clean first inning for both pitchers, strikeout for White, and a 1-2-3 inning for Rodriguez. Through 1, no score, no base runners. Cam Collier, the 6th batter of the game. He will go down 6 up, 6 down. He did not offer the 12-6 curveball on the outside. K is right, my friend. Bobby White, plenty of Ks in there. Chaz Chisholm, Nolan Gorman, Tommy Domine up next. Chisholm grounder, Encarnacion Strand on his belly to get it and races to the bag. Had an absolutely insane year. We talked about it in the preview, but doubling up his home run production. One of those outlier seasons, an outlier fastball from Rodriguez, a hundo on the gun right past Domine. Even with today's increased velocity, not too many starters are pumping out 100 like that, and he is one of them. It's going to be a very, very hard test for our bats. Salvador Calero will be the first base runner of the day. Perfect through 2. but White gives up this double down the line. Chisholm, a competitive throw, but in there before. And Amador not on the bag either way. A leadoff double for the bottom third of the lineup, led by Calero. We have one out, and that changeup got Rocchio swinging over the top of it. Filthy changeup. Looks so juicy, and you just swing over the top of it. Watch this pitch one more time. It is middle. That's a damaged pitch. But when you think it's a damaged pitch fastball, it ends up being a changeup. You have to keep on that back foot as long as you can. Rocchio a little too overzealous, and the follow-through actually gets in way of the replay, but an out nonetheless. Runner over to third base, but TJ Friedel cannot drive him home. Sterling Thompson to his left to field it over to first base, and that will do it for the inning. No runs score. We do give up the double. Runner does advance over to third, but we keep him there. Our bottom third ready to go. They didn't do nothing. Max Clark, the second hit of the game, up the middle. Amador cannot get to it, and this is starting to eerily feel like last year against the Diamondbacks. We just didn't have any offense, and they had just enough. Christian Encarnacion hit. They're going to go first to third. The throw is in time, but the tag is late. Max Clark risky. A good throw. Let's just see. Was it something that just was perfect, that he was just in there in time? Or is this just a slow tag? A little bit of both. Thompson gets it. Kind of came down, then went over instead of going across the body. I don't know. Outside pitch, sent the other way. Collier is not looking at this one. Basically the same pitch he struck out on. This time will rattle up against the wall. One run will score. The other run will be tagged out at the plate. But you have to wonder, if you throw that runner out, you don't get to that situation. So we have 1-1 on the board for the Reds. It probably should be 0. But they have been hitting the ball around. 4 hits for them, 1 run. And Amador will finally get us on the board. A base runner. The no-hitter in the perfect game is out, as Amador standing on first base with a single for his second at-bat. Nolan Jones, he swings over the top of the circle chain. That's an absolutely filthy pitch. And you see Jones gives him the tip. Watch this pitch. You thought Bobby White's changeup was filthy earlier. Look at that. Even more break on it, even more spin on it. Looks like that's going to be a painted dot low and in, and just falls off the table. And Jones out in front of it strikes out. Jazz Chisholm trying to do some damage here. Let's see what he can offer. And he swings on a cutter on the outside for strike 3. So we get a runner finally, but squander that. And the Rockies a little dejected. They do not want to drop this first game at home, put their back against the wall. Rodriguez looks absolutely brilliant as we end the 4th inning. Top of the 5th now. Calero, he's back up, and he's still pestering White. This time a slow roller up the middle that gets through. Tovar, former Gold Glove Award winner, can't quite get to it. Not exactly his fault. Did give up best effort. Arroyo, second or 2 pitches later, swings over the top of the changeup, and Drew Romo, that's why we have him behind the dish, gave us good offensive production for really the first time in his career. You add that to what he's able to give you defensively, you get this. A really good catcher and someone you can really just trust to be on the bottom third of your lineup, switch hitter, and he's in there for the defense. He smokes the runner at second base. Arroyo, 1-1 count. Next pitch to him is a dribbler up the middle, and that's going to go through just like the Calero hit. So that's probably first and second no outs, or first and third no outs. Instead, it's runner on first, 1 out. Gets through. Friedel finally beats the infield. Jones, absolute laser to third base, no offer. And some more traffic. The 7th hit of the day, I think, by Bobby White. Will Benson does get out of it, however. Grounder to Amador. Picked up, thrown to Domine, and that will be all she wrote for that inning. But yeah, 7 hits through 5 innings. Bobby White's keeping damage low, but still, giving up base runners. You want to keep that traffic off the base paths. Nolan Gorman, our MVP from a couple seasons ago, had a better year than his first full year with us. His second full year, while dealing with some injuries, looked a lot better. Gets a single. Domine
looks at strike 3. 5th strikeout from Rodriguez. Just absolutely painted fastball and dominated. Nothing he was going to do with that anyway. That's just the perfect pitch. Uppercut by the ump. Put some sauce on it. Why not? Ezequiel Tovar 0 for 1 batting here in the 5th. And he goes the opposite way. Benson picks it up, fires to second base. And that'll be 2 on for the Rockies. So the first time we've had multiple base runners. That's a good sign to see. Sterling Thompson, however, with 2 outs, will pop it weakly into left field. In on it is Friedel, and that will do it. So we do start to threaten, though. And I like that we're getting to Rodriguez a little bit more, making him work a little bit more, getting some hits. Cheapies, sure, potentially. But I don't know. I'm looking for base runners. I'm looking for wins. That's all I care about. Christian Encarnacion Strand in front of Chaz Chisholm. Dumps it about, 3-4 yards in front of him. And gets on first base in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cam Collier. He is frozen with a 2-seamer. He went to go check his swing. He thought about it. Should have thought a little bit more about it. He ends up dropping that one right into the bucket. And Bobby White walks off. Still just 1 run given up by Bob. 1 run, 8 hits. Bobby Blanco not exactly blanking the Reds, but doing everything he can. If he comes out of this with that scoreline, I think you're happy with it. De Amador jumps on a Rodriguez circle change left over the middle. Almost hooks it foul, but keeps it fair. Will stay at first base, however. It did hit awkwardly against one of the walls there protruding, and Chisholm, he can't lay off the circle change in the dirt, and that will do it. Rodriguez giving up base runners, but still just mowing down the rest of the competition. We're getting out hit by 4 and outscored by 1. That will do it for Bobby White. 6 innings, 8 hits. We'll take it. We're going to go over to Marco Garcia in a long relief role this year. Pitched almost 120 innings. Pitched every other day, basically, for us. 81 games in a 162-game season is a whole bunch. He has a very, very, very efficient 7th inning. Ends it with a big strikeout. So keeps things where they're at in the 7th, and that's what we're asking him to do. Dylan Coleman will be the pitcher for the Reds as Grayson Rodriguez's day is done, and hopefully that's good news for the Rockies offense. Got a couple of weak singles here and there, but really did not do much damage. I don't think we had a runner on second base all evening against Rodriguez. Coleman, first 2 runners retired, right, and then single by Steven Kwan. Keeps things where they're at, and Amador late on the fastball, and it's hard to be late when you were seeing 100 all game, late on a fastball that was slower than 100, but if I was looking for something off speed and gave him a 1-2 fastball. We jump all the way to the 9th inning, where Garcia will get the Cam Collier ground out, and that will do it. So the Rockies still just no offense. And really, the 1 run that the Reds scored probably should have been thrown out. That should have been an outfield assist, and the inning would have been over. But we gave Cam Collier 1 more chance to beat us. Now we have to beat the best reliever this year. Won the reliever of the year with just ungodly stats. ERA under 1. Whip right around 1. Have converted 45 of 47 save attempts. That ball should have been in Montana. And I don't know how it wasn't cranked. Hit well, but a single for Nolan Jones puts a base runner on here with no out. Leadoff man is in. Curveball. That was a strike, but not called. So Chisholm gets another lease on life. 2-2 count. He notorious from grounding in the double plays. Also a strikeout, which isn't much better. Nolan Gorman, 0-2 count. He will strike out on the fastball. Jones, the late jump. And a strike him out, throw him out to end it. I think the strategy was you're probably getting something off speed in a way. Gorman with an exceptionally good strike zone. You try to sneak Jones up to second base on an uncompetitive pitch, and then just let you have some good guys running more position behind, but Same shit, different year. Rockies just failed to score runs in the opening game of the set. Grayson Rodriguez picks up the win. Bobby White, only one earned run through 6, but he gets tagged with the loss. And now we are backs against the wall here against the Reds in the wild card round. Again, it's 3 games. You cannot lose again. We have to go 2-0 from here on out. Not impossible. I mean, overall, not the best of offensive days for either team, really. Just 2 doubles and an RBI combined by everybody in this game. And Collier just got it. Again, that probably shouldn't have been. And Rodriguez, 4 hits, over 6 strikeouts. And look at the relievers. They did their thing. For us, Amador had 2 hits and then nothing. Caught all singles, and no one got to second base all game. You can't win like that. Garcia, 3 perfect innings. Again, cannot win games, especially in the playoffs, like that. Now our season's on the line. And who do we turn to in this moment? Well, it's going to be probably our best pitcher statistically from the regular season. It will be J.J. Rose. J.J. Rose will be going for us here. Again, the rotation, if you missed the preview, it's going to go White, Rose, Leonard, Mora, and then Parra kicked to the bullpen with Garcia, Barrera, and the rest. And a 1-0 pitcher's duel in Game 1. What are we going to have in store for Game 2? J.J. Rose walks out to the mound. Has had an incredible short career so far. A no-hitter, a World Series championship in his first year in the big leagues. Was a prime playoff pitcher for us. He was the pitcher that I wanted the most. We were able to get him in the second round in our first ever draft. And this game, this series has that first draft all over it. You have Winchester, you have Rose and White, who we drafted. Rose, 3.66 ERA, 167 innings, 184 strikeouts over that span as well. And he will lead us off with a single as TJ Friedl dumps one in front of Jazz Chisholm. Not ideal start, but the Reds looking to strike early. That's a big way to try to get a knockout blow if you can strike and get a run early. Salvador Calero against lefties, batting second in this lineup. And he continues to torch us. This one's going to roll around for a while. Jones is able to get to it, plays with the wall. Friedl is going to get enough time to come around and score the run. And Salvador Calero, again, the rookie, coming through, having his moment in the spotlight. We had that for our rookies 2 years ago. J.J. Rose having incredible playoff performances for us. And Salvador Calero offensively doing the same for the Reds. Eventually, he will come around to score a weak chopper up the middle. Encarnacion Strand hit to Amador. They sacrifice the run to get the out, and then Reese Hines goes chasing on an uncompetitive fastball. So that will do it. 2 runs by the Reds, exactly how they wanted to start their day. And again, we are behind Cincinnati. What can the offense do? And they will have to do it against Rhett Lauder, an early draft pick by the Reds a few seasons ago, probably now like 6, 7, 8 seasons ago now. 4.58 ERA. Took him a while to get called up, but had a full season this year. 166 strikeouts, striking out 22% of batters faced. And he does not strike out Nolan Jones as Jones gets on the board with a hit. This one, the double, and for the first time in over 9 innings, we have a runner on second base. With this offense, that should happen like once an inning, not once a game. Lauder, absolute dart. Right on the inside part of the plate on Chisholm, freezes him. But I like that we have a double. That still need runs, but it calms my nerves a little bit. Sherwood Winchester, not much of a story in Game 1. Is already writing his for Game 2 with a single the opposite way. Winchester, absolutely fantastic contact bat, has been in the running for batting titles over his short duration in the league, and is a really, really good player. I don't know why he's running, though. That's an odd strategy as Drew Romo, actually very comparable player to Sherwood Winchester. And that's one of the reasons, I liked Winchester more than maybe some of our front office guys, because Winchester's basically Drew Romo 2.0, probably a little bit more advanced hitting-wise, but Romo gets him out there. Edwin Arroyo, I think for the second time, has to take an at-bat where he watched a runner get gunned out at second base. Chopper to Thompson, he throws it to first base, and it ends the inning. 1.5, still 2-0, Reds lead. Gorman dominate Tovar. Trying to change that tune. Tovar blasts it in left field. This would get down, and it will roll a little bit. A double for Ezekiel Tovar with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. What can we do with our 8 and 9 hitters? We would love to see Romo or Thompson come through somehow. And Romo just looks at the slider inside spot, I guess. No runs scored after we get that double, so 2 doubles in 2 innings, though. The offense doing already way better than game 1. Absolute paint job by J.J. Rose for his 3rd strikeout of the day. Look at this one, just boom, Tommy Edman. Don't blame me, brother. It's exactly what Grayson Rodriguez did to Tommy Domine just a game ago. Now he brings up T.J. Friedel. Rose sets, kicks, and delivers. Up the middle, will fall in between Quan and Amador for a base hit, and Friedel 2 for 2 to begin the day. Base runner on, Max Clark, one of the most dangerous players in all of the game. He gets quick pitched, and it ends up in a rope to first base, but our sure-handed first baseman, a Gold Glover one day, I'm going to say, fields it just. Derlin Thompson, he takes ball 4. You don't want to ever walk the number 9 hitter. Let's see if that can parlay us into some good offense. Stephen Kwan up now, and he's had a tough playoff career with us. In all 3 years we've had him, this being the 3rd, he has not performed well in the playoffs. He kept in that number 1 spot. We just love what his bat can do theoretically, but has not shown up. And right now he's showing up. Lace down the line. This could cut this lead in half. Getting to it late is Reese Hines, who's playing right field against the lefty, and they're throwing it all the way to third base to keep Quan out of third base, and that is an RBI double. Gets ahead of that one, hooks it down the line, ends up going towards the corner where Hines has to play it, and that is an RBI double from Stephen Kwan. Just talking about how we would love to see more production from him in October, and he delivers. Amador, fastball at the knees. Thought it was ball 4. Actually, it's going to be strike 3, sir. Maybe that's a big reason why his walk numbers were so low comparative to the years prior. He just needs to kind of retool what his strike zone looks like. Chisholm strikes out again in a pivotal moment. Brett Lauder, no stranger to showing his emotion, gets out of the jam, but we do score a run. Another inning, another double. This is the Rockies offense I'm more used to seeing. I am happy so far with what we're putting together. So hopefully J.J. Rose can keep us. Oh, my God. Just got a call from NASA. They said they found a spaceship UFO around our stadium. I said, no, it's identified. It was a Cam Collier home run. 445 feet. That thing looked like it was 544 feet. Absolutely torched that fastball. Incredible bat flip. Can't play a hate that. But that does bring us back down by 2 runs. Walks Sherwood Winchester with 2 outs. Things starting to unravel a little bit for J.J. Rose. Edwin Arroyo. Grounder up the middle. Tovar gets it. Flicks the hips. What a move. What a play. Tovar gets us out of the inning, but Cam Collier puts a stamp on that baseball. Return to sender. Get up out of here, baseball. 3-1. Nolan Gorman. He's trying to do something. It'll be a single. All right. Clap. Claps for Nolan Gorman with a single. We love that. We love to see it. Gorman now sits on first base. And a pretty good hit. We like to see base runners get on. We will take it all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Tommy Domine working with a runner on first base. The first pitch to him is hit high. It's deep. It's traveling. Friedel going back at the wall. It's gone. Tommy Domine, tie us up. October baseball dominating. And Tommy Domine, the season that was promised continues. Tough start to this Rockies career. So many people, the media, fans are taking, hey, that was a bad trade. We got nothing for some guys we could have got some good pieces for at that trade deadline that year. What the hell? And we got Tommy Domine, who's putting a fantastic season. And together in Tovar, he goes yard, back to back, and now we have the lead. There's the offense. That's what we've been working for. That's what we've been waiting for. Tovar, a double, and now a home run in his second at-bat. You love to see that. Absolutely pimped it. Line drive. Stephen Kwan flies out. But what a great sequence by the bottom half of our lineup. They are putting in work. First Tommy Domine, then Ezequiel Tovar. Two guys who've had some struggles in the past showing up in October. You love to see it. Nothing going for the Reds as we head to the 6th inning, and a walk. Kevin Wells in the game now as Nolan Gorman is awarded first base. And here's Domine. Take a second look at what he did in that 4th inning. Pimped one. 0-2 count. Domine pimps another one. Dominating October, Tommy Domine. Goodbye, baseball. 4:55, and it is 6-3 Rockies with the lead. Wow. It's the offense we were looking for. This is what we missed in Game 1. This is what this team is built off of. Go hit dingers and get ground balls on defense. And that is what we do. We strike you out, hit a long ball, we're fast. This is exactly the prototypical new style of baseball, and we are playing it to a T. Sterling Thompson, other way. This won't get out, but it will. It almost got out. Wow, that was actually a lot closer. He will end up on second base because of it, and now the bottom of the lineup is rolling. Can Drew Romo bring Thompson home? 0-1 count. 1 for 3 today. Romo couldn't do it. Romo was the 8th hitter. But Stephen Kwan can bring him home. That's it. Stephen Kwan coming together, and October is for the rejects. Kwan struggles in October, having himself a day-to-day. Domine, again, we talked about his struggles. Tovar, his struggles have been documented. Those three guys, the MVP of Game 3. Multiple RBI from Domine and Kwan, a home run and a double from Tovar. Adele Amador, this is hit well. This is hit high. This is rattling off. Oh, that was inches from a home run. Will result in a run. And Amador saunters in. What a 6th inning for us. The second pitcher we've seen, Daniel Espino, in now. And Nolan Jones will strike out on the changeup. But we scored, 6 runs in that inning? God damn. Now with a 5-run lead, we turn it over to Brandon Barea. Did not have a good regular season, but we like his ability to chew up innings for moments like this. Put him in games exactly like this. You can afford to give up a couple of runs. Amador, not even considering base runners. He said Sports Center is where I will be tonight. Come find me there. Keeps them off the board in the 7th. Down the line for Edman, a single for him in the top of the 8th to start things off. And let's see what Pereira can do to get out of this one. We'd love to see him just get out of this one clean. Friedel, already 2 for 3, but now has to face the lefty, which I think he actually has really good contact splits against lefties. Yeah, no, it's almost double play. Amador kind of shortchanged himself, changed his momentum. Does make the sick play, though, and we will bring in Bo Brisky. You just want to kind of close this thing out. Don't want to fool around. That was close to getting through. 5-run lead. We trust Brisky. to get Max Clark out. He will. Honestly, maybe even keep Maria there to get the lefty-lefty matchup. But hey, it worked, so I can't be too picky. And now it's just one more chance for the Reds to get 5 runs. And we have a chance to add more. Yeah, no, we're going to add more. Sterling Thompson, how you darn. Coors! Forgot to yell Coors the other 2 times. That one is pimped. 393 feet. First home run of the postseason by Sterling Thompson. A really, really good last couple of months for him. Really turned his seasons around and looking to be one of the top third basemen, or the top third baseman for us going forward. And again, I don't see why he wouldn't be candidate number 1. Kwan going to right field again, and another double. The third double from Stephen Kwan, very reminiscent to his 50 double season 2 years ago. Haven't quite got that same doubles production from him, but that's the Kwan that helped us win a World Series. If we get that, then we might win another World Series. I would love for that to be the case. Strikeout on Amador, 9 runs, 12 hits, and a blast by Sterling Thompson, our 4th of the day. Brisky still in, Collier other way, and Chisholm lays out. Wow! What a play by you like Jazz Chisholm. Sports Center, you have so many highlights to pick from on this one. You had the Amador stop, you have this one. Oh, look at that full extension. You have the home runs. Bo Brisky loving it. You love to see it. And then Sherwood Winchester, opposite field. Chisholm on his horse again. There you go. Rockies win. And we close it out. Now it's a winner-take-all, winner-go-home. Game 3 on our home turf we've set up. Much better game 2. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anyway, you cut it or slice it. Great job in game 2 by everyone involved. Fantastic effort. Hitting the ball, not just the home runs. We had so many doubles, so many extra base hits. Really got on Rhett Lauder in that bullpen. Choppy first inning, but after that, 1 run through the final 8. We will take that from our bullpen. Did well. The 2 guys that came out, Rose, pushed through that tough first inning. That is a Rockies win if I've ever seen one. Now we are tied up in this series 1-1. Let us see the box score. Please dominate. 2 home runs. Definitely your player of the game. First for the Reds, 2 hits for Friedel, and that was really it. A couple RBIs here and there. A home run by Collier, which is a highlight. Salvador Calero got us really getting those Marble Reds out early in this one. But Rhett Lauder, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Kevin Wells, 2/3 of an innings and 4 earned runs. I mean, we really got to Wells, and Espino was fine over 2 and a third. Kwan, 3 hits, 3 doubles for him. 2 hits, 2 home runs for Dominic, including 4 RBI. And Sterling Thompson, a good 2 for 3 game with 3 runs. Doubles by Jones, Thompson, Amador, Tovar, 3 for Kwan, and then Rose. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, and a very, very solid bullpen performance from us between Brisky and Barrera. Here it is. Win or go home. Hunter Green versus Bud Leonard, 2 former number 2 overall draft picks in their respective drafts. It was 2017, Royce Lewis, and then Hunter Green, I believe, and then 2025 when it was Alexi Escobedo of the Giants, and then we took Bud Leonard. So 2 pitchers going at it. People forget Hunter Green was actually a 2-way prospect. He was one of the top-ranked prep shortstops as well as one of the top prep-ranked right-handed pitchers. He just threw 100. So they're like, you can go pitch. But he could have been, I don't want to say he could have been Shohei Ohtani, but if Shohei Ohtani was doing his thing when Green was drafted, I know they came up around this, or he was drafted and then Shohei was doing his thing. But either way, if Green was drafted like 2 years later, 3 years later, I think he would have been a pretty solid 2-way guy. But here we are. This is the timeline we live in, and this is the timeline we live in. That is all we got. Bud Leonard, our man, at the helm. 181 strikeouts, 189 innings. Walking only 7% of batters. 4.29 ERA. Let's see what you got, my friend. Bradle, bye. See ya. Thanks. Appreciate it. Starts game 1 off with a strikeout. We will take that 100%. Max Clark, ground ball. Tovar plays it cleanly. That will do it. Clean first frame for Bud Leonard. The Reds half is over. Rockies take the batter's box, and Hunter Green will go take the mound for the Reds. Who will draw first blood here? We will see Hunter Green. This is what his season looked like. Very comparable to Bud Leonard. 4.24 ERA, 198 strikeouts. So that was kind of what we're used to seeing from Leonard. More strikeouts than getting pitched. Again, very comparable players. And Steven Kwan continues to rake a single to lead things off here in game number 3, the all-decisive game number 3. We start with a runner on first base. Dale Amador, next pitch. He's hitting .333 this postseason. Up the middle, raised the average. He's on with a single. Now a couple pitches in, we already have runners on for Nolan Jones and company. 3-2 count on Nolan Jones. Payoff pitch is inside, ball 4. Bases loaded, no outs for Jazz Chisholm. You need to score a run here. He flails at the circle change. Need to score a run here. Imperative to score a run. It's a great pitch by Green. Would love to see Jazz lay off of it. And that's a big strikeout and a super big moment. Nolan Gorman. By him. He strikes out on 99. Another huge pitch by Hunter Green. Watch this pitch. Just by Gorman. Foot down. Bat comes through late. 99. Domine, our hero from game 2. What can he do in game 3? Broken bat late on the fastball. And we do not score runs. Encarnacion Strand almost overran it. We do not score runs. We can't not score runs. 0-0 as we head into the top of the second inning. Christian Encarnacion, he's on with a single. First base runner for the Reds, Cincinnati. What can they do with their opportunity to score? If they score here, that's very deflating for the Rockies. We need a ground ball. We need a strikeout. We need something. We don't get quite a strikeout, but we get a swinging strike and then a throwout as the third caught runner by Drew Romo in this playoff series. One in game 1, one in game 2, one in game 3. I don't know why they continue to run on Romo, and they're not really running with particularly fast guys. They don't really have a team that's swiping a whole bunch of bases. I mean, I get maybe Max Clark, but Sherwood Winchester and Calero and Encarnacion Strand, not exactly burners. Cam Collier, single in the left field. A little 2-out rally for the Reds. Calero has been killing us all postseason so far and will not kill us there. We will go the long way, the traditional route. Get out of the inning. Tovar fields it fine. 2 hits apiece, no runs as we head to the Rockies part of the second. Tovar, Romo, Thompson, top of the lineup after that. Romo chopper, that will be a hit. Drew Romo getting on the board with base knock. You love to see that from your number 8 hitter. What can Sterling Thompson do? Is had a really good game 3. What can we see from him game 2, What can we see from him in game 3? Looper, is this going to get down? Yes, it will. The dive in right field, by Benson pops out of his glove. And a lucky hit by Sterling Thompson raises his batting average past .333 and brings up Steven Kwan. 1-for-1 on the day. Can we see some more Kwan magic? Yes, and again! A replay of Sterling Thompson's hit. Pops in and out of the glove, and another great effort. But no out. Wow, that's crazy. Out in front of the fastball on the outside part of the plate. And again, just pops in and out of the glove on a diving attempt by Will Benson. Dale Amador, 1-for-1 today, has been hitting really well this playoffs. Opposite field, Friedel off the wall. Almost missed a grand slam. Just missed one by 2 feet. He will score 2 And Adil Amador comes through and gives us the lead 2-0. Almost a 4-run base hit. Jones, left field. This one's higher, not as deep. Friedel settles under it, but this will be plenty of room. Plenty of distance to score Quan easily. They don't even attempt home. And now the Rockies jump out to a 3-0 lead. I would have loved this last inning too, but we'll take it, I guess. And 3-0 Rockies lead. Bottom of the second, Chisholm into center field, but on a line a little too much. Kept up in the air long enough for Clark to go get it. And that will be the inning. We do score 4 hits, 3 runs, and now we have the lead. In the bottom of the third now, nothing going for the offense for the Reds. Chopper through. Domine, base hit. All right, back in business. We are cooking. As the kids say, I guess. I heard a kid say that once. I'll go with it. Drew Romo, opposite field. Friedel gets it for the third out of the third inning. Thought we had some promise there. Domine, not the speediest of guys. I don't know if he would have scored. Maybe something that deep into that gap probably does, but either way. Part of the lineup coming up, 2, 3, 4. You get Benson out easily. Max Clark steps in. We haven't seen a signature moment from him yet, and as I say that, ropes double, opposite way. He can run. He hits second base. Was he thinking 3? He is. He's in there with a triple. And it's like that. 90 feet away from scoring are the Reds. Takes that low changeup and just places it perfectly on the run in the gap. He goes head first for style points. And a triple for Max Clark. Sherwood Winchester. 1-2 count. Did get the out before. And Winchester. Loop single. And now a blast away. Tying things up. No bueno. Cam Collier. He's known to doing some blasting. Doesn't quite get a hold of that one. Out in the fourth. Sherwood Winchester does pick up the win. Pick up the RBI base knock, and the Reds are not going anywhere. No desire to lay down or roll over. Edwin Arroyo, that's one of the prime packages along with Noel V. Marte from the Mariners in the Luis Castillo trade years ago. They flipped Marte for Max Clark, so basically traded Luis Castillo for Max Clark and Edwin Arroyo. You'll take it. You definitely take it. I've seen worse trades. In there with a single by Brian Rocchio, and Reds knocking on the door. Chisholm ranges to his right. The run will come across the score on the sac fly, and TJ Friedel gets them on the board again. 3 runs to 2. Benson strikeout swinging. All right. He'll take it. Starting to get nervous. Starting to get a little nervous, you can tell. I'm just like, chest is tight. Chase Petty, former first-round pick, former Minnesota Twin farmhand, comes in for the 5th early day for Hunter Green. Jazz Chisholm likes Chase Petty. Likes him enough that he's going to take him yard. Course! You like Jazz. First home run by Jazz Chisholm. Just a matter of time before we got a big moment from Jazz. And there it is, right there. Big home run to put us back up, especially after giving up runs in the inning prior. You love the answer. You know, you get out to that lead and then you just match them. You just do that, you win that ball game. And that's how 7 out of 10 postseason games go. One team gets a lead, and then it's just match for match. Domine swings at that one, but Jazz Chisholm, the highlight of the inning, as we're through 5, halfway there. No looking back now. Nothing's going to get in our way. We're halfway there. 4-2. Max Clark bullied that pitch. about 17 inches from a home run. You'll settle with a double. Nervous again. back to being nervous. Don't like that. Don't like that is the route that God has set forward for me. But I guess, whatever. I guess, whatever. Christian Encarnacion having a career year this year, will not swing at the changeup. We get the strikeout. Love to see it. Trevor Winchester. Last time Clark was in scoring position, he blooped him in. Can he do the same here for Cincinnati? Can Bud Leonard get this by him? He's going to try to take third, and Clark got greedy. Why are you running on Drew Romo? Chopper up the middle. Tovar sets, throws. Oh. Winchester is safe. Good golly, but why are you stealing third in that situation? Just running into outs. I don't believe it. And think about it. Now this is probably bases loaded, 1 out. You play this back, and you got Calero, who's killed us all postseason so far. Only 3 games, but still, he's had so many big moments, and I don't think you have enough to turn double play. That's a run. That's a 3-4 game, and now it is a 4-2 game. We get out of it. Tovar, great play in the hole. 7, 8, 9. Here we go. Look at the bottom of our lineup do. They've been doing big things so far. Up the middle, Thompson again continues to hit the baseball. Again, the last 2.5 months have been the Sterling Thompson show since the All-Star break. He's really turned it on. It raises OPS over, almost 50, 60 points over that stretch. And then Quan, another big hit. He just keeps doing it. That's going to be well enough to score Thompson. Runner on second base now after the Quan double. And it's 5-2. This game should be 4-3, maybe even worse. Now it's 5-2. And that's just a deflating double by the Reds, considering what happened at the top of the inning. I'm still flabbergasted by it. The events of that inning and that decision to steal, I don't get it. Amador swings and misses. They keep us at 1 run, but that's still another run that we will take 1 run closer to stealing this thing up. The game now turns into outs. Outs are currency. We're trying to take their money away. Let's get them broke. Let's get them broke. And Bud Leonard still out there for the 7th. 83 pitches. We're going to trust him. You have no reason not to. He's done a phenomenal job so far. Evan Arroyo strikes on the first pitch. Curveball left hanging. And now you have a runner on. It's kind of, I would assume it's a short leash. Yeah, exactly like I said. Assume it was a short leash going into the inning. Next batter to reach, you're off. And that's going to do it for Bud Leonard. He gets a nice hand. 6+ innings, 2 earned runs. Is responsible for at first base. A few strikeouts mixed in there. And our guy, Bud Leonard, gets out of it. We're going to go to Brandon Barea. I would have loved to go see a Helsley or an Alzolay or a Santos or somebody else here. Even Brisky again. But we're going to go Brandon Barea, I guess. All right, 1 1/3 last time he pitched for us in Game 2. What does he have in Game 3? Rocchio does not hit lefties particularly well. Still, I think there are better choices. All right. Single from Rocchio. TJ Friedl, a lefty, but does hit lefties pretty well. We have documented that already. And down the line, a blooper. This will score a run. 1 comes across. The second run holds up at third base and corners. No outs. 2-run game for the Reds. TJ Friedl. Just softly over Domine's head. Rolled enough for Jones to get it even with a strong arm. Not in time. And Clark up for Jones. The play at the plate. He's out. The Reds keep running into outs. Nolan Jones, a strike. A double play to end it. 20 hits total for the game. Watch this. Rope. Why would anybody
run on Jones, especially coming in on a play that shallow. Oh, so many questionable base running decisions by the Reds, and that could cost them their season. Brandon Williams. Oh, my head hurts. What a series so far. Back and forth, big moments. I don't know, if you don't like this, you don't like baseball, and this might not be for you. Nolan Gorman welcomes Brandon Williamson with a single in the bottom of the seventh. 2 outs for him on the single. All right, so we have a base runner on for Tommy Domine. Has been known to hit home runs. That's what his playoff mentality has been. He goes the other way for a single. Now all of a sudden we're threatened. Tovar up next. We know how well he hits with runners in scoring position. See if he has one more big base knock in him. Zeke Tovar 0 for 3 today, but against the lefty, the runner in scoring position, this is where he thrives, and he shows it right there. Up the middle, Clark fields it. The play at the plate, and Gorman's in there safely, and an RBI single from Ezekiel Tovar puts us back up 3. So again, how disastrous that inning was last inning. We match. Again, get the lead and match. That's what we've done. Romo didn't want to go for more, I guess. Looks at a fastball over the plate. Tovar gets the run, but again, we went up 3-0. We went up 3-0. They scored, we scored. They scored, we scored. They scored, we scored. Go up, then match. You win that game 100 times out of 100. Barry Santos finally putting some high leverage relievers in high leverage spots. He has the 8. Christian Encarnacion Strand, opposite field, and he dumps this down for a double. Glad Santos has the 8. That's what he said, not me. Encarnacion Strand at second base, no outs. Salvador Calero with 2 outs, runner on third base, so Santos doing a very good job trying to get out of this jam. Walks Calero on his 15th pitch. Do you go with the closer early